All right. So I'm ready to go ahead and dry fit it.
Yeah, go ahead and put it on there. The big
Does that look okay?
I can't see it.
Yeah, hold on. Can you see anything?
Nope.
Okay,
Well,
hold on.
sure, the ladder. Okay.
Too bright, sorry. There you go.
Yeah, you don't need the flashlight, just the camera's fine.
Is that good enough?
Yeah.
All right.
You go ahead and twist it on there and push it in at the same time.
All right. How far down?
Just, I can't see it anymore.
No, but how far down should it go in?
Just about a ½ inch or so. Just don't go past where you sanded it.
Yeah, I sanded high, so.
Okay. Yeah, a ½ inch is plenty. I don't know if it'll even go in a ½ inch, will it?
I think so.
Missy, stop. Drink your water. Stop barking. She has a food aggression, so she attacks her brother.
That's not nice.
No, it's not.
Okay, I got it in an inch or maybe even a ½ an inch to maybe 3/4.
Yeah, that's plenty.
I need to pick it up off the bottom. Yeah, so, okay. I'm going to flux it. And the way it's sitting, it's actually resting on the bottom right there.
Okay.
And once it's solid and we need to, deal with the capillary, I can push this up higher and pick it up off the bottom.
That's fine.
Yep. And by the way, it's sitting on the bottom. It shouldn't move when I'm soldering.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No, go ahead. What do you
No, you answered the question, the comment. That's fine. You have to worry about it falling off, but you already said that.
Yeah, right. And I forgot to take the stem out, so I'll do that now. And am I going to expect any outgassing now?
No. No. Go lay down, buddy. Buddy, go lay down. Leave her alone. Go lay down.
Okay, I'm fluxing and then brazing.
All right.
Hopefully our seconds will last a little.
All right, get in there.
Joint. What's the harm of flux on the skin? Just wipe it off, or is it wash it off?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think it'll bother you at all. Just wipe it off.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I've never worried about it. I've never had any reaction.
One should probably read the safety data sheet, but I didn't do that, so all right.
The torch is the only one you got to worry about on the skin.
Yeah, right. That'll get you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I should try to curve behind it as well on this one, right?
Just try to face it forward to the left.
I'm talking about the solder stick.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to flow a lot quicker and easier because it's a small line. So just try to get the torch, I'd say from the right. Try to face it as much as you can forward. I know it doesn't bend enough, but as much as you can forward from behind it, and but to the left, and then the solder in from the left.
Okay.
And it'll flow quick when it starts to flow.
Yeah.
So and don't keep this on there too long.
Right, because I don't want to plug it up.
Yeah, because the solder's going to go down.
Yeah.
So don't do it like the other ones, please. You're going to end up with solder down in there.
I think my last one was a little better.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It looked a lot better. No, I'm just being emphatic about it because this is pointing down and it can just go down and plug that up, and then we got another problem.
An old boss used to say when a guy do a really bad weld, he'd say, "It looks like a knot on a dog's dick," right?
Yeah.
That's. I've been making a couple of those today.
Yeah, it's a matter of having a clean joint and the right temperature, and whether you get a good solder joint or not, what it looks like. Because you put the least solder as possible on, and it just looks like a factory solder joint. But when it's difficult, then you end up with globs.
I can't imagine why companies wanted to get robots, right?
Yeah, well, because the temperature is exact.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna solder her down now.
All right.
From the right with the torch.
Keep that solder, that heat right on the joint. Don't go down on the tube.
Got it. And if I have to at all, go up on the line.
Yeah, exactly, because you don't want to draw it down.
Understood.
You might want to hang that pad over the left wall.
Yep, already done.
All right.
Yeah, we're working in this smaller space. This heat comes right back at you.
Yeah, I don't even ever notice. I'm so used to it. I suppose it does. Honestly, I don't even notice it.
Right. All right, going in.
All right.
All right, if I didn't gunk it all up, I made it a good one.
Outside. Out. Sorry, I had to help the mama dog out. I had to help her outside.
Oh, no problem.
She couldn't get up. Okay, so I just got there. So let me see it closer. Is that left side? Try to lift the camera up a little higher so I'm not seeing it from below.
Yeah, I'm at the top of the cabinet.
Okay. It's hard to see. I guess it looks all right. Do you have your mirror? It's hard to see the actual joint.
It seemed like it flowed nicely. I hit it 2 or 3 times real quick, and it sucked it on in. So I'll try not using a mirror and
The light?
Close. I mean the light. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a light, a separate light?
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Yeah, flash it at the mirror, the light, the other light.
Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks all right. Does it look all right to you?
Yeah, I thought it did go well.
Okay, so let's get down to the bottom one.
Let me just cool some stuff down here real quick.
Yep.
Let me try a picture.
Dogs. Right back.
Take your time.
Hey! House! Come on! What? Get out! Get out! Right. Oh, I'm busy doing something? Huh? Outside barking at the neighbors. Ugh.
Look at the moon.
Somebody said dogs do that. They're not supposed to.
Yeah, I'm taking a crappy picture, but I think it's good.
Yeah, if you can see it, it looks good. That's all you can tell when there's a, you saw the hole before. It's obvious when there's a problem.
The dryer's still pretty warm.
What's that?
That's the heat sink, right?
I didn't hear what you said.
The dryer's still pretty warm.
Oh yeah, it'll stay warm. No big deal. You can put a cold towel on if you want to cool it down more, but it's no big deal.
I'm just checking the braze up there. I'm probably over fixated with it, so.
No, it looked good to me.
All right.
I think
So,
it's fine.
now we're back here. Get this out of the way for a minute. And I'll need to resolder the.
Yeah, let me see the top. Let me see the top, the tubing up top. Up top. Okay, so what I would do is
hold on. Get the blanket out of the way. Sorry. All right. Is that helpful?
So what you can do is move the camera back farther. So what you can do is bend the tube, bend that tube on top that the tube goes into on top. Bend that to the left. Coming out of the dryer. Bend the tube coming out of the dryer to the left.
Okay. I got to put the phone down. Yeah. The one I just soldered.
The top tube that comes out of the dryer. Not the tube.
The one I just soldered.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
Just bend it to the left a little bit.
Well, I did.
Okay.
Are we trying to just get this horizontal?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it so that not horizontal. I'm just trying to make it so there's more room down below. If you bend that to the left, then you can move the dryer up higher.
Gotcha.
And it looks like there's probably room between where the capillary goes in the bottom anyway, so there's probably plenty of room right now.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, then we don't have to do anything more at the top. Okay, so let me see the capillary tube better. The end of it.
Yeah, hold on. I wish there was a way to turn on the camera light with this zoom.
No, just your regular flashlight will work.
I know, but it's one more hand, right?
Well, you can leave the capillary tube where it's at. Just move just leave it where it's at. That's fine. Now that's worse. I just leave it back where it was, so I can see the side of it. Yeah, I just want to see the side of it. So, so that's fine. What you might want to do is take the tires and right at the tip of it, it goes down and it bends right there. Then it bends again right below that. No, up no, right there. It bends again. Right there is where you want to take and bend it back and forth and bend it off with the pliers. So all you're going to do is take the pliers, just like you were before, but you're going to take them so that the part of the plier, the front part of the plier that you had on the score before, is going to be facing down now. So you're gonna, where you want it to bend, you're gonna have the front part of the pliers on that bend. So take the pliers from the top and grab downward and grab the tip of the end of the pliers on that second bend, and then bend it back and forth several times and it'll snap off.
Isn't it gonna crimp it a little?
No. You're not gonna squeeze it so hard you bend it. You're just gonna grip it, and then you're gonna bend back and forth.
Needle nose and duckbill, and then the other channel locks. Does that matter?
If you're talking to me, I can't hear you.
I have a pair of needle nose and duckbill and the channels.
No, the channel locks are better. They have a bigger tip on them.
Like the duckbill's got a pretty good.
No. Channel locks.
Okay. All right, I'm there. I don't see how. Yeah, I don't get it.
Just grip down with them pointed down with the end of that, because that's a big, large, flat surface.
Is it?
It's bending on that flat front surface. Look at the front of the channel locks. It's flat right there, across the face of the front there. See how it's flat?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're bending with.
I'm bending it as far over 90 degrees, or?
You're going to bend with the channel locks facing straight down.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing this. Okay, so.
Yeah, that direction.
So start here.
Start on the second bend.
And then
that front edge on the second bend, just like you did on the score. You put that front edge on the score of the other one. Right, exactly. Put it on the second bend, and then bend back and forth. It's got a flat, straight surface there, and that's the best way to bend these. And plus, you have more leverage with a bigger plier. Just bend it back and forth several times, and it'll snap off.
I'm moving about 30 or 40 degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I told you to just snap off.
I can't see it, so I don't know what's happening. Okay, so see there now, look at the opening.
Yep.
The opening's fine, okay?
I just froze, hold on.
It's the best tool to use. Any other tool, you don't have good leverage. It just doesn't work well. Okay, so now you need to clean up that. Go ahead and straighten out what's left there, because that's straight, that you can straighten, that bend in that. Try to make it as straight as possible, the end there. About an inch to inch and a half back. Needs to be straight on that capillary.
I'm working on it.
That's fine. I'm just completing my sentence is all.
And I'm using the duckbill this time.
No, use your fingers.
Oh, okay.
Don't use pliers.
I was really light with the duckbill. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's just best to do it with your fingers.
Okay.
But the problem with pliers on these is that they put ridges in the outside of the copper. And the ridge in the outside can cause not only a weakness, but a leak.
Got it.
It doesn't take much to go through this copper.
Got it. All right. So.
Believe me, I've done it, and it's really frustrating.
So how much? Now
you're going to put a gentle curve in that, about 2 to 2.5 inches back. So in other words, keep your finger on the inside of it like you have there. No, put it back. Put your left hand back.
No, I'm trying to get your length here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so somewhere about
That's
here.
Far enough. That's far enough. You're actually closer.
Yeah, I got it. And bend it up and towards where it's going to lead in.
Right.
But don't make a 90 degree.
No, just put a gentle bend and hold your finger on the inside so you don't crimp and kink.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
The finger on the inside of any tube, just like a tubing bender does, puts pressure on that wall and won't let it bend. It won't let it kink as easy. Okay, that's fine. And now you clean up the end of that capillary. And the opening of the And just go over the end and the opening of the fryer capillary tube also. Because you've touched it, it's been touching the floor, everything. Just go over it real quick again. Just to knock off any debris that might have got stuck to it. That's the key to this, is keeping this stuff clean. You clean it ahead of time, you're going to have to clean it again because you just can't take any chances.
Right.
That's where the leaks always end up. And guys don't follow up and do it again right before they solder it. Just takes a speck of anything. You know,
that's why I thought this aluminum oxide, this grit, is dirt, but you're saying no, it probably just gets melted into the flux and into the solder.
It just disintegrates. You're talking about a pretty high temperature here.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't think about it that way.
It's no issue.
Gotcha.
It's not like you're working in a clean room and everything has to be perfect.
Yeah,
it just has to be clean. But we use the same tubing. We just clean it off with emery cloth. And once it's clean and use flux, boom, it's soldered and you're done. Yeah, we don't make a big issue out about it. We'd never get out of houses.
Yeah. I think I need to stick to selling molecules.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert it.
Yeah, move the camera. Yeah, okay.
So is that too long?
And there's a slight bend there, so you might have to work it in where that slight bend is on the end of the capillary.
I'll see if my camera case works.
Just go in about 1 inch to 1.5 inches max.
Okay.
You don't want to force it all the way in there. You fall down, Mama? God dang it. Don't you know I'm busy? Huh? Get food. You're supposed to stand up and eat, not lay down. Eat your food, Mama.
I'm having a tough time.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of solder on there still. So what you can do if you want is you can heat up that tube and work it in.
Yeah.
Just take the torch and heat up that tube and insert it with the tube on. Don't worry about flux or anything right now. Just get it because there's solder on the outside of the capillary. So just heat it up and work it in there, and then turn the torch off, and then take a wet towel and cool it down, and then we'll take an emery cloth on both pieces again and put flux on it and then solder it.
I feel like
sometimes you can't get it in unless you heat it up. So you get solder on the outside of the capillary tube.
Yeah. So let me get set up for that.
You're out front, you probably shouldn't even have to worry about pads or anything. Just point it at the condenser.
Yeah.
Condenser's not going to catch on fire.
I'm wondering if there's not a little outer round on the front end of this.
No, don't worry about that. You'll get the tube in there. Okay. You just got to heat it up. There's solder on there, I guarantee you.
Okay. So,
it's really common. I almost have to do it almost every time because it leaves solder on it when you pull it out.
All right. So I'm going to heat it up, and then I'm going to use my hand to put it into the...
Yeah, you can put a glove on if you want. That capillary tube usually doesn't get very hot.
Okay.
But I put a glove on it. He told me not to put a glove on.
Yeah, right. Okay, giving it a whirl.
All right, just point at the condenser.
Right. I can actually bring the capillary through the other side. They point at it, yeah.
Yeah, just don't get that capillary too bright red. It'll melt.
Got it.
And you should be hot enough now. Should have gotten it in there already.
I'm taking the flame off. I'm trying to get it in.
Yeah, you'll probably have to keep the flame on it because the solder will dry again.
All right, try again. All right, I got it red.
Did it go in?
No, not yet.
Okay, heat up the tube, the end of the tube, not the capillary.
Okay. I don't have enough free hands to work it in. And
Yeah, it should just slide in.
yeah, so
Okay, let me see a picture. Let me see a picture of it.
Yeah. I'm getting there. So I'm just getting in the why is it upside down? Come on. So I'm just getting that tip in.
Yeah, and it's bent right there, so that's going to resist going in. So you got to straighten it out.
Yep.
It's bent right where it's going in. It's got to be absolutely straight. That hole's not very big.
How do I straighten it?
You get it straight?
I'm working on it.
You didn't pull it out, did you?
No, it came out. It was barely in there.
Okay.
I touched it. I got sand. I'm sorry. It just. So.
See, what you're going to do is you're going to use that when you push it in there. You're going to use that as a lever arm as you're bending it. So leaving it in there is a lot easier to bend that straight than it is to pull it out. Go ahead and push it back in there.
Yeah, let me sand. I feel like there's something right in there.
Is there any lumps on the end of that capillary?
Any what?
Lumps, like solder.
No, it looks like though that it's not in round. I mean it.
Yeah, if it's not round, then there's lumps of solder on it. That's what that not roundness is. It's solder on the outside of the capillary. So the problem with trying to make that hole bigger is you're going to end up with a gap between the capillary and that hole. You don't want to do that. So that's why I don't want you to do that, go that direction. So
if I stick I mean, can I wallow it out with a safety pin or a paper cut?
No, that's what I just said. No, and I don't want to do that. It's not, the problem is not in the dryer.
No, I mean in the capillary. I'm saying the capillary is not round. I'm not doing a good job of showing it to you.
Yeah, well, I know, but I already answered that. Okay, hold on a second. Let me explain this again. The outside, the reason that the outside of the capillary is going to look like it's not round is because there's solder on it. So if we need to, we're going to cut the capillary tube back farther. But I mean, every time that this happens, all I have to do is heat it up, and I can slide it in. But you had it bent, so you can't push it in very easily when it's bent. So all we wanted to do is straighten that bend out, and then heat it up again and try to slide it back in again. Okay? We don't have to go off any other tangents here. It's solder on the outside of that tube. And the torch is going to liquefy that and allow you to slide it in once the capillary is straight. But you had it bent and it was hitting the side, and it's going to resist it going in because that hole is only so big.
Yeah.
It's just got to be straight as you're going up into that hole. No bends in it. And the easy way to bend it straight is to put it in the capillary as far as you can and use it in there to help bend it so you don't have to use two hands trying to bend it. Otherwise, you're grabbing the end that's already clean. Now you got to clean it again. Okay, that's why you don't touch the other end. You just put it up into the dryer and bend the bottom part that you don't have to worry about touching.
I mean, it is only going like a millimeter, less than a millimeter in.
Yeah, there's solder on the outside there. That's all. It's what it is.
Okay.
It's
all right. So you understand? I've got it just in, barely in there, and I'm gonna put the torch on it. So I mean that is in there. I mean just a hair.
Right.
So I'm gonna heat up the joint or the dryer.
Just take your pliers and bend off another 1/2 inch off the end of that. Snap off another 1/2 inch.
Okay. Channel locks right here.
Same way you did before.
Well, maybe not the exact same way.
Close.
I don't know why it went easier last time.
You'll get it. That's because the tube was more brittle because it was already heated up and installed inside. So it was more brittle, and now it's back farther. It's going to be less brittle. You just got to bend it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You'll get it.
Sure looks out around. I'm just not good at bending it like you.
Let me see. Yeah, I can't see. Okay. Let me see the end of it. It looks like it's round, the hole.
Okay, let me see.
Now, if there's enough room there that you should be able to work that in there. Go ahead and just push real hard into it right now.
Let me sand it real quick.
You push real hard, you should be able to, without bending it, you should be able to force it in there, twist it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just grab a hold of it really tight and twist it back and forth as you're like screwing it in, back and forth. Push hard on it. It'll work it in there.
It's starting to go.
It will. You got to show it who's boss.
All right. It just cleared the whatever the hurdle was there.
Right.
All right.
Okay,
So
so go in about an inch or so.
Yep.
Flux it up and solder it, and let's get this part done.
I don't know. That guy Mike, he takes forever.
It's hard to the part that's hard on this side is that you want to get in there and do it. And so I practice great patience. But there's a point where you just want to get in there and just show you, look, just push on it. It'll go in. Doesn't matter if it's out around. It's going to go in there.
There's a pressure thing on all of this that, you know, I'm too light or I'm too heavy, you know.
Oh, exactly. I know.
It's experience that gets you there.
I know. That's why I'm being patient. There is. I've been training for over 30 years. I'm used to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there is a point where when it's difficult, you just want to get in there with your hands and just say, look, just like this. You're like, well, God, how did it go in so easy? Well, you got to put some pressure on it. Twist it at the same time. It has no choice but to go in. It doesn't matter if the end of it's round, out of round. It doesn't matter at all.
It could double over and bend up on you.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it.
All right. So now is this one I'm more on the dryer or right on the joint or?
Yeah, right on the joint. And this is going to not take that much heat. You've already noticed how quick that capillary gets red.
Right.
Okay,
right.
you don't want it. So what you're going to do on here is you're going to be even on the capillary and a little less on the capillary as you are on the tube. So a little less on the capillary, just bleeding over onto the capillary because you want to get this tube hot enough to float. The capillary is not going to be a problem. It's already going to be bright red.
Right.
So most of it's going to be on the tube, and you put the solder on there and get off it right away because there's just a very small amount of solder that's going to go on that. Doesn't take anything to cover that joint.
Front or back, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. It's going to flow itself all the way around. But the key is don't be on there. Don't be on there any longer than 1-2 seconds after it's bright red and it flows. Get off it right then.
Okay, I hear you. Just a second.
It's going to take just a speck of solder and it's done. This is where you fill up the tube and you block that capillary, and then we got a problem again. This is the most common problem with guys put too much solder and they end up sealing the capillary shut.
All right. Well, hopefully we don't. And
it's facing down, so that's a good thing. Yeah. So it'll flow down rather than blowing up, but you're just going to keep most of the heat on the tube.
So I'm going to heat the tube here, and then as soon as I can, just a quick touch.
Yeah, wait, that was too high where you're pointing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're going to heat it right almost on the joint, but just slightly back. Not up to that bend, no.
Okay.
Just slightly back from the joint, and you're going to see that capillary heat up and red real quick, and also that one's going to get red pretty quick. You're going to touch that and get off it because it's going to flow that solder immediately. Get off it and you're done. Don't put any more solder on than just one speck. Don't do it, please.
Understood. I hear you. I'm going to try to obey you.
This is where guys melt that capillary with the oxyacetylene. They plug it up. Are you doing it or?
I did it.
You done?
If it's not leaking, I am. I mean, it flowed in when I touched it, just as a touch on it. You don't want me to overdo it?
No, don't do it anymore. You already done?
Yeah.
Let me see it.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, don't do it twice, please. Okay, so look in the end of that. Look in the end of that, and you can see yourself with your own eyes that you can either see into it or you can't. It looks like there's solder all the way around, right?
Pardon?
It looks like there's solder all the way around, right?
Yeah, it looks still red.
Huh?
It looks red hot there still.
Yeah, but there's no crack or anything in there, right?
No,
it's all solder.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's all solder. As long as there's no crack or any specks of black where you can see, like we saw before with that hole.
Okay.
If there's solder and it's smooth all the way around, you're done.
All right, so can I cool it and then try vacuuming it again?
Yeah, go ahead and cool it down and let me see that joint again.
Yep.
I couldn't really tell. Imagine 3,000 degrees on that joint.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. The tube's too small for that temperature. I get the HVAC guys, and that's the only reason you use oxyacetylene is HVAC. The lines are 7/8 and 5/8. You have to have that to heat those up because they just don't want to heat up.
Right.
But these small lines, no way. That capillary just melts into pieces.
All right, I'm just trying to get it.
I can't see.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Get there.
okay.
I'm just trying to get it where I can get the camera in there without melting stuff.
You cool it down?
Yeah.
All right. So let me see the front view or bottom view. I want to see looking right at the joint, face on, just like you were soldering it, face on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the side view still. Just like you're down the tube, like you're right down the tube, looking up the tube that goes into it. The end view. Yeah. Now underneath.
I can't focus.
Yeah. And now you're going to have to visually check that yourself. Is that solder all the way around there? It's hard for me to see.
It's hard for me to see, which means it may not be. Hold on.
Use your flashlight.
Yeah, I'm using a flashlight. I was going to use the mirror.
Yeah, it's low enough. I think you can tip your head down and see the whole joint without the mirror. Just got to have light so you can see better. See, to me, it looks like it's CLRM, but I'm not there, so you got to. There's no cracks or anything, right?
I'm trying to see the inside turn.
Whatever you do, don't touch this joint with your hands.
I touched it with the towel to cool it.
That's fine. See, I can't tell face. I can't tell side view because it doesn't tell me inside the crack, the opening. It has to be an end view. There you go.
I just don't know
At an angle, that's fine. So it looks like it's sealed. So go ahead and did you open that up, that end wider?
Did I open the end up?
Of the dryer?
No.
Oh, it looks like it's widened out.
Not because of anything I did. I bent it a little to the left, but that was it.
Okay.
I did not swage or wallow or do anything there.
That's fine. So go ahead and if you think it looks okay with your own eyes, because you're closer to it and you can see it, it looks like it is for me, but I can't tell on this one real well.
I mean, I think I've just got to, you know, test it now. I mean,
that's fine. That's what you're gonna do.
I don't want to overdo it if it's not needed.
No, that's what you're gonna do. Just go ahead and hook up the yellow line. Put the needle valve in the valve on the dryer.
Dry it. Yep. Okay, needle valve and cap are on. You there, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, the needle valve and the cap are on. So, is it vacuum time then?
Yeah, go ahead and put the, you know what, pull that off and put the needle valve in there too.
Go ahead and do that now.
Yeah. And when you tighten these up, tighten them up firm, but not too tight. Because you can tighten them too tight and they'll leak.
Got it.
There's just a plastic seal in there. It's like you firm them up and then you do just a slight twist, just a little bit more, but not a turn. Just a slight little.
All right.
Okay, then put the hose on and then hook up the vacuum pump and turn the vacuum pump on. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, while you have the vacuum pump on, what we're going to do is we're going to wire the relay in. So get your harness for the compressor and dryer or condenser motor.
This was the old piece.
Yeah, that's not necessary. There's the double connectors on the other piece. I can't see it.
Yeah, let me get it. Just a second. Let me get some crap out of the way. Just a second. All right, so I need.
The camera is just still, so I can't see.
Sorry. All right. So I need to get the other harness piece. That's right.
Yeah, don't worry about that just yet. What I want to do is do that when we're vacuuming. We're going to finish turning the vacuum pump on and everything first.
Okay, so we're ready for the vacuum pump.
I was just mentioning that while we're doing the vacuuming, we're going to do the harness. So not yet, though. So
Okay.
make sure that's tight. Get the vacuum pump running. Make sure the line up there is tight on the gauge. The line's tight on the vacuum pump. And then go ahead and start the vacuum pump. We want to be doing this while we're messing with the wiring harness. And go ahead and open that all the way up. Okay, go ahead and take the red hose off the back manifold.
Do you take it off?
Take it off the back of the manifold. The right valve is closed on the manifold, right?
Yes.
Okay, hook up that red hose to the dryer valve.
All right, it takes me a second.
Hold on to the dryer while you're tightening it up so you don't bend the other lines.
Say again?
Just hold the dryer while you're tightening it up so you don't twist the whole dryer.
Right.
You got it on there?
Okay, I got it on there. I have it on there.
Okay, so now you'll see open that one, yep. And you'll see that pull down and peg on the needle. Go ahead and open it.
What?
No, open it up. Open it up. You'll see it peg on the needle. It's in a vacuum also. Okay? Let me see the left one. Okay, so it's all the way down in a vacuum. So leave that on there for a few minutes and go up here and find your harness and everything. We'll do that while that's vacuating.
All right. Bear with me.
Yep.
All right. I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. Okay. All right. So let me see the harness.
Yeah, just a second. So the SubZero harness?
That's the one for the unit. The one that goes from that plug, not that plug, but the other plug to the compressor.
Yeah, let me get the flashlight in a second. Okay. So this is the one that was hijacked. This was hijacked to the 3-in-1 hard start.
Yeah, you gotta hold the camera still, though. I can't see it. It's going all over the place over here.
You're right.
Okay, so let me see the other end of that harness.
See what?
Let me see the other end of that harness.
That runs into the.
No, just show me the other end. Okay, goes into there. Okay. I just want to know what I'm working with. Okay,
Yep.
so this has, 1 second here.
We're not vacuuming out any oil, are we? Or
1 second. I have two physical therapists that have been waiting for me all day. I just got to answer this girl.
do you want me to turn the vacuum pump off or the valve?
No, leave it on. One
All right,
second. I just got to answer her real quick. 1 second.
All right, no problem.
Now they've been patient all day. Don't forget. Okay, so now the thing is that okay, in this case, you don't have the okay, stay with me for a second here.
Yep.
Stay with me. So move over to the right with the camera, and I want to see the wires coming off the condenser fan motor.
The condenser fan motor.
That's the fan motor right there to the right. Okay, where are the wires going? They're already hooked up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure that they're hooked up because sometimes they get put into these leads. So they're already wired in by themselves.
Yeah. So they come down here into this harness.
Okay, so they're already wired in. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now this doesn't have to have double connectors on it because that's already wired in. So all you do is put the wire that you had in your hand off of the round disc.
This one?
Nope, the round disc right there. That wire on the end of that goes on the bottom terminal. There's two terminals on top and one on the bottom, right?
Right.
Okay, I can't see it, so that's why I'm asking. Okay, so and then that relay is going to push on there with the coil facing up. Okay. Now one of those terminals, put the neutral one on the round disc, the white wire. The white wire from that harness, put it on the disc, round disc.
Yeah, just a second. Okay.
But the other one on that terminal sticking out of the relay, I think there should be only one terminal sticking out, right?
Yeah, and then there's something else up at the top.
But no, I'm on the relay I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just stick with the relay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now what you have to do is take that cover, the plastic cover that was cracked. That round disc opening is on the left-hand side. Let me see that where you put the screwdriver in. No, where you released it with the screwdriver. Okay, so that's the top.
Right.
So the round disc goes in that, it pushes in there, but the problem is the wire's got to come across the terminals to that opening. Bring the cover down so I can see it. Okay, see the opening on the other side of the round disc opening? That opening there? That's the wires go through there.
Okay.
You see the problem you have there? Where you gotta fish the wires over? So I'm gonna suggest something here. Don't do that yet.
Okay.
Take a knife or your dikes up there, those cutters. Cut that plastic away long enough to where the wires themselves are the only thing that's gonna go through that cover through that opening. Don't try to push that plastic cover in there with the wires inside of it. Cut the plastic covering away from the wires.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Long enough so they go outside of that opening on the cover.
Yeah, bear with me.
Otherwise, you're trying to force that plastic in there, and it's not feasible. Just take your wire cutter, those dikes. You had dikes, the cutters earlier.
I've got scissors here.
Yeah, those won't work as easy, probably. That plastic might be too hard. Okay, they're cutting it.
How far do you think that takes it? 2 inches?
I don't know. Put the cover up there and see.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a smart aleck.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the best judge. Or kind of hold them over to the right there and see. I'm pretty sure it's going to be longer than that. Just be careful you don't cut into the wires.
You want me to cut the white one or the purple one first?
Yeah. The purple. Right after you cut the white one. And it doesn't matter if it's too long because it just gives you more to work with.
I know.
The other wires are all in the open in there. These don't have to be covered with plastic. They never are.
No, this is more of just a finish.
Right. It's to keep the wires in one harness. It's kind of stupid because we usually end up cutting these. And they get so brittle, the plastic, it cracks anyways. It's just so hot up here.
Okay.
Let's see if that's long enough. I don't know if it is or not, but you want to be able to gently pull it in there, not pull hard or anything, so that they go all the way across and go through there, and you can put the cover on. So go ahead and put that disc in first. You got to manipulate it with the terminals down and the wires coming through that opening, that disc opening there. See the wire, the opening of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wire's got to go through there.
Yeah.
The black one does too.
Yeah, they didn't really give you much.
No, they don't. You have to manipulate it just right. And be careful. Don't pull on the black one too much. It'll pull off that terminal. Desolder it. So be gentle with it. You almost got to put that cover in the position that it's going to be on the unit to get that in there. So you have enough wire because of the black one being so short. Okay? You got it? All right.
Yeah.
So bottom first. Get it underneath that metal bracket and then push on the top once you get it straight on that whole bracket. Put the bottom first.
Yeah.
Just to the right a little bit. If you look to the right, you'll see it. Okay, there you go. You're inside that bracket. That's why I wasn't going on. Just look on both sides and make sure the gray plastic is outside of the bracket, that metal bracket.
Yeah.
And then rotate it up and it'll click on. You got to push hard when you on the bottom part. Push hard so it's up against the compressor, then push the top on. And it'll pop and you'll hear it attach. If you have to, hit it with your hand.
It's just not quite.
Okay, is it latched?
No, it's
They're
not
not
on
always
the bottom.
they're not always totally tight. Hit the bottom then. Just hit the bottom of it. Knock it on there. Seriously.
Yeah.
I fight with them all the time. I got to pound on the damn thing to get it stuck on there. You feel how hard it was to get it off.
I just wonder if there's if I've got something blocking it. If the
it's loose like this. Hold on. Just try something here. Pull down on the top gently and see if it comes down.
it did.
No, I mean all the way down. No, it's not. So don't worry about it. It's on there. Okay? Seriously. They don't. Yeah, it's not going to pull all the way down. It's just loose. That's the way they are. Every time I put one on, it can move back and forth.
Okay.
So it's on there. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
So now go back to the.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you something. Why is it that I didn't need all this double relay stuff?
That's the old one. You just put them on. That's a capacitor in your left hand.
Yeah.
That's a capacitor. This compressor doesn't use a capacitor.
Okay. I mean,
the one on the right is the relay. The relay, you just put the relay on. You pushed it on the 2 pins.
I see. Yeah. So SubZero used to use the relay, huh?
No, they used to use a capacitor.
I'm sorry. Yeah, capacitor. They still use the relay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's garbage. Just toss that out.
Got it. Now, what's next?
So go back to the gauges. Okay. Now turn the right one off first. It really doesn't matter here, but I want to turn the right one off first. Because what I want to do is I want to disconnect the red hose from the dryer. Use both hands, hold the dryer with the left hand, unscrew the hose from it with the right so the dryer doesn't twist.
Yep.
Do it quick. Do it as fast as you can because you're going to be releasing vacuum when you do this. I mean, we're gonna recreate the vacuum, so it won't be a big deal, but you're just going to suck in less air.
Okay. It's done, and I tapped it.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is go back down to the gauges. Look at the left gauge. Is it back down to 30 yet? Okay, it's there. You lost a little vacuum when you pulled that hose up. So just leave it for about a minute. And then we're going to shut the left hose. And we're going to make sure that there's no leaks.
Right.
Again. Okay. Last thing you want to do is fill this up with freon and have a leak.
Right.
You don't want that. Then it starts pumping oil places you don't want it.
I believe you.
This girl's like, "You're not going to forget me, are you?"
No, I'm sorry. What?
I said, "This girl, there's one of 2 physical therapists that I'm talking to help me." She's like, because she's been waiting for several hours. She's like, "You're not going to forget me, are you?" I said, "No." And nobody's working, so she wants to make sure I don't forget her. I'll put them both in a ring and see which one beats the other one, and then that's the one I'll pick. Mud wrestling or something. I'll leave it up to them. Okay, so that's long enough. Go ahead and shut the left side valve. Turn the vacuum pump off. Recheck the hoses, make sure they're tight. I want to make sure there's no possibility for a leak here through a hose. I know they're probably tight, but just recheck them. I've done this so many times where I'm moving the gauge that the hose comes loose. It's like, are you kidding me? Okay. Then I had a manifold one time that was leaking. I was like, where's this leak coming? It was a manifold. It was cracked. Okay, see, that's not going anywhere. So that's a really good sign.
Does that mean the dryer?
That's the whole system that you're looking at there, that vacuum.
On or off, if there was a leak where the dryer capillary was, this would show it.
I'd be quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's on the right-hand side of the 30. Go ahead and tap on it. It'll probably move over to the left side, but because that's not an accurate reading, actually. Tap a little harder. Yeah. Yeah, the needle didn't even move. But because that's not even an accurate reading. It's there's no possibility of a 30 plus vacuum. It's not possible.
I understand.
So that looks really good. Now what you want to do is grab that freon can and see if there's anything left in it.
Yeah, I can weigh it if it makes sense.
Well, just pick up the other can.
Yeah.
Judge them next to each other, hand to hand. What does it feel like? It doesn't have to be exact.
Yeah, I mean.
Does it feel like it's almost full, like the other one?
I mean, 3/4. I mean, right at kind of the screw you number.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what we want to do is not leave a can. We don't want to use a new can because then you end up with that freon's just going to be lost because you'll use all of the new can. So use all of this, and then we'll move to the other can if we need it. There's 8 ounces from the R12 system, but we don't know what the ounces are going to be on here. We don't really know what's left in that can.
So I'm gonna break the vacuum line.
That's fine as long as the valve's closed on the manifold.
It is. And I'm gonna quickly put it on this.
That's fine.
Because that valve leaks.
Yeah, that's really messed up. That valve should close and open, both. Makes no sense to have a valve that doesn't shut off. I've never had one of those.
Yeah, I got it on Amazon.
That's eBay or Amazon, exactly. Chinese stuff.
Yep, Sung Chi or something. Okay.
Yep.
I got a good seal on it.
Okay, so go ahead, and the valve's closed on the manifold, so go ahead and open up the can.
Okay, so hold on. So there's no power to the fridge right now. Do we need to plug it in?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just get the hose charged, and then we'll do that. Let's just finish this step first, and then we'll get to the.
I just didn't know if you had to have the compressor on when you're
Yeah, we're gonna turn it on once we get this hose charged. I just want to finish this step real quick, and then next step will be turn the power on.
So should I crack this valve again?
No. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, is the can open?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, leave that alone for We don't want to lose any more freon than we need to. So open a can first, fill up the hose, and then you're going to crack that and bleed off the air, and then close it real quick.
And this is
open the can first.
And the can is in the upright position the rest of the time here.
Exactly. You can't put in liquid. You got to do it by. Now, the other thing you want to do before we turn the power on and everything is get a bowl of warm water. Just a short bowl that you're not going to get in trouble for using.
I'm in trouble already.
I used to get in trouble for using spoons and knives as tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like that for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, and just put some warm water in there and that, because that can's going to get cold fast when it starts going in, and then it won't go in. We are now at 9:15.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was looking at the clock. It's a clock on Zoom.
Not my friend.
Yeah. Okay, I wouldn't fill it that full. Okay, you're getting warm water. I get it. Yeah, just halfway is fine. And even room temperature is fine too. It doesn't matter because it's a lot colder than freezing.
Right.
Or a lot warmer.
Right. Gotcha. I know what you meant.
And then go ahead and set that can in there and let it warm up a little bit. And then you're ready to go ahead and turn the power on.
All right, so I haven't bled the line yet.
Okay, yeah, bleed the line. I'm sorry. Go ahead and bleed the line out. And just do it for like 2 seconds max, a quick 2 seconds. Yeah, that's good. Because you're building the pressure in the can with the warm water, so it's going to fill that line and move quick.
Okay, let me plug the fridge in.
Okay. Oh, that's right, it's in front. Forgot about that.
All right, so I don't remember any of the settings. You want me to check anything in the cabinet at this point, or just plug it in?
Leave the refrigerator off. Just plug it in and the freezer off right now. Leave them both off.
Do you want me to open them up and dial them to 0?
Are they on 0? No, put them on 0, yeah.
No, they're not on 0. Let me get them.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. We're probably on 5. That's the mid setting.
7. The freezer was off, but the fridge is on 7.
Yeah, that's because your coils are dirty. Once you clean those coils, you can move it back down to about 5.
Okay, it only goes to 1.
Yeah, 1 to 10 it should be.
So I'm set on 1 inside the fridge.
Oh, no, it doesn't go to 0?
Nope.
Really? Yeah, it should. Maybe it's just tight.
All right, 10.
Yeah, it should go to 0.
There's nothing, Bob. This is a 1988 model.
All right, let's just leave it there then. It's still going to allow the compressor. I think that thermostat's close to need to be replaced. It should go to 0. They all have a 0 on them, so that there's something wrong with that thermostat.
Oh, it's the original. I'm virtually certain it's the original.
Yeah, it's getting close to needing to be replaced.
All right.
So you're upside down. So you standing on your head again?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So what you're going to do now is go ahead and let me see the gauge. So it looks good. We're still exactly where we were. We're not leaking. We're at 30. That's good.
All right.
Okay. So go ahead and open up the left valve.
Yeah, let me put a little more water in there because I can't get the can just right.
More water is going to make it float more. Less water will
okay.
Sit straight.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought it was a falling over because it was a round bowl. Okay, so what's the call here?
Okay, so go ahead and open the left valve.
Okay, I'm just making sure that's still closed. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Close it down a little bit. I don't like it. About 50. 40 to 50.
Hey, I didn't plug it in. I'm sorry. I plugged the unit in.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can do it now.
Okay.
No, it's no big deal.
Okay, something just kicked on.
Yeah, it's a refrigerator compressor because it's not going to 0. Okay,
Right.
so go ahead and open it back up. And when the needle goes to 40 or 50, that's where you want to stop. Don't go all the way up. I don't like putting it in that high pressure because of the valves inside the compressor. Go ahead, 40, 50. You can go up to 50. It's going to drop in pressure pretty quick. It'll start dropping. See how it's dropping? So go ahead and try opening some more. Pretty soon you'll have it all wide open. It's just the first bleed off that wants to go so high. Go ahead and open it all the way up. I don't think it's going to go higher than 50 now. Go ahead, open it up. No, it's going to drop in pressure because you took the most pressure off when you started. Okay, so now go ahead and
it's climbing a little.
That's fine. That's fine. If it gets up to 60, that's fine. I just don't like to go 70, 80, 90. It's not a big deal. So go ahead and open the refrigerator door and turn the freezer on.
Okay, hold on. open the freezer door and turn it on?
Well, just turn the freezer on.
Yep. All right. Compressor kicked in.
Okay, go up to 5. There's 10 settings on that one too. That's the mid setting. Okay.
Yep. And the pressure is dropping.
Yeah, it's gonna, because it's starting to suction. Okay, so go ahead and turn the valve off on the gauge there. Go ahead. And all we're gonna do is judge where the needle goes, because it's been on for a little bit here, letting freon in, so we just don't want to overcharge it. Okay, it's gonna go below 0. You can already tell that from where it's going. Let it get below there just for a second, and then we're gonna go back and open it up and just keep putting more in, and then turn it off again after a little bit. And so we put quite a bit of freon in the warm water. It's actually right about 0. Okay, so go ahead and open it up a little bit.
Yep, give me just a second.
It's upside down.
I know, I'm sorry. It's stupid.
I don't understand a camera doing that when you're taking a picture.
Right.
Okay, it was in the vacuum there at the end, so it wasn't as much freon as I thought was in there. So we're just gonna let it go for a little bit here, and then
switch cans at some point.
yeah, it's gonna start dropping pretty quick. Go ahead and lift the can up and feel how it feels weight-wise. You can tell when it's empty.
Yeah, there's very little left.
Okay, so let this go down to 0, leave the valve open, because it's going to empty that can.
Yeah, I'm shaking the can a little, but keeping it upright.
Now, you don't have to do that, because I want you to do something else. You just leave it in the warm water. That's good enough.
Okay.
It's going to bring it down and pump it out. Okay, go up to the high side line that's coming off the compressor, the one that came forward, and you soldered forward there.
Yeah.
Wrap your hand around it. Wrap your whole hand around it, not your finger.
Yeah. Well, I was checking to make sure it wasn't burning hot first.
That's fine. No, wrap it, even if it's burning hot, just wrap your hand around it. No, do it away from the compressor. Right here in front. Right here in front, just where it's flat there. Wrap your whole hand around it. Grab it. Really grab it. Now, that's the only way you're really going to feel the heat that's inside of it. Okay, do you feel any warmth at all?
I feel warm, definitely.
Okay, so it's starting to warm up. That's good. And that's the way you got to hold on to it, because you can't really tell if you just kind of gently touch it. Okay, so now go ahead and feel back. If you can feel the suction line where the
capillary
insulation is not, back in the back there, reach back there and touch that. Be careful that the other line might already be hot from the refrigerator. Okay, do you feel it getting cool?
It feels not hot.
Well, no, is it like room temperature, nothing, or is it cool?
It's starting to get cool.
Okay, that's what, exactly. So just same thing, grab your hand around it.
I just can't. I can't get the whole.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. As long as you feel this is getting cool. It's not a big deal. Okay, so feel the other one in front again. Wrap your hand around it and feel if it's getting warmer than you just felt.
Yes.
Okay. See how you judged first, and now you're judging again. That's what you want to do. That's what I was saying. You want to be able to tell it's getting warmer and warmer. That's telling you the system's cooling. Okay. Yeah. So you have different benchmarks as it gets warmer.
It's getting to the point where it's uncomfortable to hold my hand there tightly.
Okay. Now go over to the gauge quickly. I want to make sure it doesn't get over. Just turn the gauge off. Shut the valve. Shut it off. Shut it.
It's off.
I don't want to get it overcharged. If you said that's almost getting hot, then it might be already charged.
It's off.
That's fine. We might have had enough freon in that can. So it's probably more than you thought was in there.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell when you shake them.
I thought it was right on the edge. You know, it's 12 ounces and it was at 3/4.
Right.
You know.
Okay, so this is getting warm to hot?
Yes, it's getting hot. Like now, so when I touch it, now 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. It's uncomfortable now.
Okay.
And
Well, pull it off when it's too hot.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's getting good and getting warm to hot. Okay. So that's good. So open the freezer. Okay. Let me see the whole freezer. Okay. I got to see where the evaporator is. Okay. Point it up. Point it up. The camera up. No, point up at the top of the freezer. Okay.
You mean?
There's 2 switches in the front of the door there. Push the switches with one hand. Or are they down on the bottom? They on top?
The fan kicked on in there.
Okay. So put your hand up by that grill in the back top there.
Okay. Yes, it's I think air's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now touch the back panel with your flat hand.
Yep, it's cooling.
Okay, down further. Touch it down further. Down further. Should be even getting colder as you pull down with your hand.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Now go underneath the ice maker and touch the panel down there. That's where the evaporator is. Touch the panel above that. Above that. There's a box. See the box? Right behind there. Touch that panel behind that. That's the evaporators inside there. That should be starting to get really cold.
It is.
Okay, so it's cooling.
I'm hearing some gurgling.
Yeah, that's the freon going through there. You'll hear that till it settles down. Now go back to the gauge. Okay, so this thing got fully charged right when we shut it off. I don't like how high it is. I don't like going that high. It's up actually up about 12, 14 now.
So wait, it's closed. How's it still again? It's reading that? Okay.
Because it's compressing the freon.
Okay, gotcha.
That's going to change. It won't. This will change. But I don't see now. It's up at 15 almost. So what I need you to do is I need you to open up the yellow hose on the gauge and bleed some of this off. Yep. We have too much freon in it. Just slowly bleed it.
All right, can I hold it like this?
Yeah, but I want to see the gauge at the same time. Tell me when you hear it. There you go. I know you're hearing it now.
What's my target?
You're hearing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just talk to me because I can't hear it.
Yeah, so
So go ahead and open it up a little bit more. Keep it on the gauge, the camera, please.
Okay, it's closed right now, but what's the target number?
Well, we don't know. I can't answer that question.
Okay.
Because this thing's going to move around. So I just need you to open that.
It's open. It's hissing.
That's fine. Just keep it on the gauge so I can watch the gauge. Open it a little bit more. Okay, right there. Now, close it for a second and go up and touch that condensing line. Wrap your hand around it again. Tell me how hot that is. It's probably too hot to hold. This is overcharged.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's too hot to hold because we're overcharged. Go back and open up the yellow line. And let me watch the gauge. We shouldn't be up at 15. We're too high charged. Go ahead and open it up more. We got to let quite a bit out here. Right there. Leave it there. See, I can't answer that question because when this is open, that gauge is not going to read proper temperature pressure with this line open. That's why I can't answer your question.
Okay.
Because it's taking pressure away from the gauge and trying to sense the system pressure at the same time, and it's impossible to give the proper indication. Now, close up the valve, the hose. Close it. Okay. Open it back up a little bit. We don't have enough out. I need this to stay down below 10 when we shut it. Okay, go ahead and shut it. Is it closed all the way? Go ahead and close it all the way.
Well, yeah, then I could see it was higher than 10.
That's fine. That's fine. But I wanted to give it a chance to stabilize. So close it. Yeah, don't open it until I tell you, please. I don't want to get on the other side where we let too much out, and it's easy to do. So if I say close it, just leave it closed. Okay. Okay. We have to let this stabilize. We don't know where that's going to end up. You saw before it started rising. It takes a little bit for it to realize it. Go back up to the line and see what that temperature of that condensing line is again. If it's as hot as it was.
Okay, just a second.
It's fine. Yeah, don't open up and judge. Let me tell you, okay?
I won't.
Okay.
Still warm.
Not what I said. And I'm going to be a real stickler here. Is it as hot as it was?
Yes.
Okay, that's the answer I want to hear. Just exactly what I'm asking because it matters. Okay.
Understood.
Go back to the gauge. Okay, and we're about 10, so we're still a little bit high, and it's pretty much stabilizing there. So open the left one up again. I just don't want to go below, and then we got to put freon in again. That's where it's real critical here that can happen. And no, don't close it. Don't close it until I tell you. Just leave it open. I'm judging by time too, so I'm actually judging time-wise, not just the needle. Okay, that's something you can't tell because you're not in my mind. Okay, go ahead and close it. I know how fast this freon comes out of the system just by experience. So, okay, go back up to the line, see if it's exactly as hot as it was, or if maybe it might be a little less.
No, it feels as hot.
Okay, and it's going to take a little while for it to cool down because the system's so hot now because there was so much freon. So that line will take a little bit to cool back down. It will, but once we get this gauge where it's supposed to be, then that'll happen by itself. So go ahead and open that left side again. We got to get this down to about 8 to 9. Yeah, just go ahead and leave it a little bit more open. Yeah, right there. Okay, so I'm actually going by time right now, and go ahead and close it. Make sure it's tight when you close it so you don't lose any more. Go up and check that line again, and it's probably going to still be hot. And at this point, it's going to be hard to tell when it starts to cool down because the high side system the whole high side system has to cool down. Because it got too hot.
Still too hot.
Okay. Okay. So go back to the freezer and feel the back wall, the flat part of your hand, and you should feel it's getting pretty darn cold.
It is.
Okay. Push the door switches and feel the air coming off the vent up there.
Yep, it's cold.
Yeah, it's like it's really getting cold, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I can hold my hand there. It's not.
I mean, it's not freezing, but it's a lot colder than what it was to start with.
Yeah, it's like the air conditioning out of your car.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and shut the door so we keep the cold in there, not so much hot. Go back to the gauge. Okay, so we got to let some more out. Go ahead and open it. Take it down to about 5 like you were before. Right? Yeah, right about there. Stop and wait. We're going to be a little bit longer this time because I can see that it's not letting that freon out as quick as I thought it was. So we're going to go a little bit longer here. I just don't want to open it up anymore. So pretty quick here. Let me see the gauge. Okay, go ahead and shut it off because it's starting to drop down to 3. Okay, let me see the gauge. Okay, now we're close to where we need to be, 8 to 9. Okay. We're going to let that equalize a little bit, stabilize a little bit, and then go ahead and up there and see if that's cooling down at all. And I know it's hard to judge. I know it's hard to judge, but it will cool down some. It's still going to be hot, but maybe not as blazing hot as it was before. I don't know if you're still there or not.
Yeah, it's still pretty darn hot.
Okay. You think it's the same temperature as before?
I think it's probably every bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, let me. I've got to plug the phone in just a second.
All right. Okay, let me see the gauge again when you get a chance.
Yep.
Okay, it looks good. It's stabilizing about 8 to 9. That's good. So right now, go ahead and pull that yellow line off the valve on the compressor really fast.
Okay.
And I mean, unscrew it as quick as you can.
And have the cap ready for it too?
No, you don't have to worry about that. It shouldn't be leaking. Just unscrew it so we don't lose it. Very little freon.
I gotta take.
That's fine. Put it down. Unscrew it as fast as you can.
So it's still open on the gauge. No, the gauge set's closed. Okay. All right. Is freon going to come out of there?
A little bit, but it's not. It's at 8 pounds.
Okay. Is it not? I mean, the freon can is still open, is what I'm saying.
No, the freon can has to go through the yellow line. The gauge set valve is closed to the yellow line. It can't come out.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go quick.
Just as fast as you can.
That's it.
Okay. Now, what I need you to do is go get your leak detector. Bubbles.
Yep.
Or soap.
Okay.
And then pull off the other cap that you put on the dryer also.
Okay. All right, I got a spray bottle. It's downstairs. I'll be right back.
Just grab some liquid soap on the counter.
Okay.
That's all you need. It's the same thing.
Yep. Okay. No, I mean, I know that.
Yeah, just put it on your finger, just a dab on your finger, and then run it across the face of the valve, and you'll see a film. And just watch and see if that film pops. I do it with spit all the time.
Yeah.
You see the film?
I need to get my flashlight.
Okay. Yeah, soap's the best because it causes bubbles. So this just works just fine. The spray just makes mess everywhere. I don't like to use that. This just puts it where it needs to be.
I'm getting so old, my eyes are failing.
Oh, I know. I can't see anything. I keep thinking the girls are good looking, and I get closer, and it's like, oh, my God. They look at me and go, stop looking at me. That's pretty abusive when you get older and they look at you and they're like, what are you looking at me for? Oh, my God, that's terrible. Because you're walking in front of me?
Do you have a pulse?
I know. What other reason do I have?
Okay, I'm getting no bubbles on the process stub.
Okay, that's the low side. You can call that low side from now on.
Low side.
You said there's nothing?
Nothing.
Put the cap on. Grab a hold of the process stub itself when you tighten up the cap with the pliers. Don't over-tighten it. There's an O-ring inside there, but you want the O-ring to seat pretty good. So if there is any possibility of leak, that it's not going to allow it out. So just tighten it up really firm, really firm, really firm. That's it.
Okay.
But hold on to that stub behind it with the other hand.
Yeah, I just need a second.
That's fine.
I parked a little liquid soap in the bottom of the valve.
The bottom of the what?
I parked a little liquid soap in the bottom of the valve. Is that all right?
Don't worry about it. It's not going anywhere. Valve's not open. Not an issue. The only thing it's going to do is blow out. It can't suck it in because there's pressure.
No, I was worried about sucking it in the pump or something later.
No, we're done.
All right, I got a nice good hand tight on it, and I feel like it's sealed. It's seated pretty well.
Take your pliers and tighten it a little bit tighter.
So the line is still really hot there.
It's going to take a while to cool down, and it usually runs warm to hot anyways. Okay? So it's fine, but our pressure's good, and it's fine. The pressure was perfect. That's the indication right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I've unconnected that. So, okay, use my pliers.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much done with fixing the refrigerator. Yeah. It's cooling now, and we're just putting things together and testing it for leaks on the valves.
Okay, I turned it about a quarter a turn with the pliers.
Yeah, that's fine. Just to seat that rubber good.
It's about good, but not too tight.
That's fine. I just don't like to do it hand tight because that's not tight enough. Right. Those caps are so small, it's hard to get a grip on them.
Right. Now I got to do the other side.
Yep. That's 125 pounds pressure inside there.
The high side.
Right.
I got to get some more soap.
Right. Yeah, just a small dab on your fingers, all you need.
Yeah. All right, just took the cap off. My trusty mirror here.
I don't hear a parade behind you. There should be a parade behind you that you've got it cooling. Where is everybody?
Yeah, you should all worship me, right?
They should have signs and horns and parade.
All for Mike. Okay, I use spit up there, and I'm not getting anything.
Yeah, that's fine. And so go ahead and put the cap on. Same thing. Just hold on the line behind it, and then get the cap good and tight, and kind of just a little extra there, and then that's tight, and then that's it. You fixed it.
We fixed it.
Well, you did it. I'm not responsible for anything.
Okay. That's your fine print. I hear you. Okay.
Judge, I didn't do anything, Judge. I didn't touch it. I was 2,000 miles away.
All right. All right. She wants to know, when did she get ice?
If you put a bowl of water in the freezer, it'll give you an indication of when it gets to 0 degrees, about 32 actually, but it'll get down to 0. And when it gets to 0, and when the ice is not shiny anymore in that bowl, then you know you're at zero. If it's shiny still, you're probably just at the state of change, which is 32 or close. So it actually has to get down to about zero. That's why ice doesn't look shiny. It usually looks dull because it's actually at zero. So 4 hours.
We've got to finish the can here that's going to leak.
Yeah, so you can either let it out if the can's going to leak and just take it outside. There's nothing you can do about it. That valve won't shut.
Right.
That's ridiculous that he sells you a valve that doesn't shut. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean think about it. That's just stupid.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. All right, so let me do that. I'll be right back. Oh,
Okay.
you don't. So let me ask you this: I've still got motor mounts and some ground screws to screw in.
Yep.
Anything else to be? What do I watch or be concerned about over the next couple of days?
Nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing that you would worry about is that if it just stops cooling or it doesn't seem like it's as cold or it stops making ice. But we've leak checked this thing every step of the way, and nobody ever does that. Okay, I did that for a reason because we had difficulties with the solder joints. But you don't do that ever because you just don't have time to do that. It's just not part of it. But we leak checked it each step, and it was not leaking at the end there. And we left it on while we were doing the whole wiring harness.
Yeah. So a bowl of water. This is all right.
Yeah. And that's going to freeze as soon as it gets 32, and it'll just be a visual that you can open the freezer and see that it's frozen and it's getting cold already. Good and cold.
Right.
And then the ice maker, what we always do is we tell customer to give it 24 hours to do what we call stabilize. It's got to cool down the whole cabinet inside, so it's got to cool the walls, the ceiling, everything. So it's not going to get totally back to normal for a good 24 hours, but it'll freeze food sooner than that.
Should I put a gallon of water or anything in there just to help it have something to hold it?
No.
Okay.
You don't need anything.
Right.
The only thing that makes a difference is if you had a whole bunch of food you put back in that was frozen, then it would replace the warm and actually cool quicker. But what you worry about is that if there's a problem that, wow, you wake up in the morning and it's 70 degrees in there, you lost all your food.
So I have some ice. Yeah, I have some ice packs in my other one. I could just move those over.
Yeah. I always like to give it 24 hours just to make sure there's no issues before you put food in there. But some people have to get it back in because they don't have anywhere to put it. But when you're confident with the repair and you've done as thorough as we've done it here, check for leaks and everything else, and then there shouldn't be any issues at all. But, everything's not perfect. So, but we've gone farther than any tech usually even attempts to go. They never leak check every step of the way. They don't do that. But I just wanted to do it on this end.
I appreciate the precision. I'll follow up with you. There'll be another payment, a little gratuity coming your way.
Right.
I appreciate it so much.
No problem.
Let me, I'll let you know tomorrow afternoon. Make sure everything, or Monday morning, make sure everything's tight and happy still. So.
Okay. So just put the nuts on the front. You're gonna put the metal sleeves on the front ones. Don't worry about the metal sleeves in the back ones. So you don't put the nuts on. That's the only reason the metal sleeves are there. So you don't tighten the nut down too tight. I wouldn't put them on the back ones. Just put them on the front and tighten them down firm, but they don't have to be tight.
Yep.
And then that's about it, because all you have is a grill after that. No, you need to clean the condenser.
No, I did already.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Last night I did it very thoroughly.
Good, because that was bad.
Yeah.
Other than that,
it was worse when we bought the house, but that's probably about as bad as it's been with me.
Yeah, it was pretty plugged. So other than that, it's just putting the shelves and stuff back in, and that's it. You're there.
Michael, thank you again.
You're welcome. No problem.
I wish you success with your doctor, but I'll be in touch, like I said, tomorrow night or Monday, give you an update and follow up with you.
Yeah, I hope everything turns around for the good on my end. It's not good news.
Well, they got a lot of technology out there, right?
Oh, I know. Yeah. Give me a plastic 3D printed heart.
There you go. Don't go for the pig valve, though. I don't hear great things about that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Have a good night, sir. Thanks again.
You're welcome. All right. Talk to you
Cheers.
soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.